Hello everyone, my name is Roya, and today I will be telling you about the books that I got in January. So 4 of these are from Book Depository, and then the rest are from Powell's. I recently unhauled a bunch of books and used the store credit at Powell's to buy some new ones that I've been wanting to get for a good while now, so I'm very excited. So I will start with the ones from Book Depository. I'm actually currently reading 2 of them and will probably have already finished reading them by the time this video goes up. The first one is Markswomen by Reddy Mehrotra, and this is one of my most anticipated releases of 2018. I talked about it in my most anticipated 2018 releases video, which I will leave a link to down below, and I am just so happy that this book is a real book now and I get to read it. The other one that I'm already currently reading is Zenith by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I got this book because it is by a very famous booktuber and an author, and they wrote it together, and the way, just how well they marketed this book and took it from like a self-published part 1 ebook. It wasn't even this whole book, it was just part 1, and had it make the New York Times list as a self-published part 1 ebook, and then it got picked up by a publisher and everything. It was a very inspiring thing to be following. They posted video updates about it that were super fun to watch, and I definitely really enjoyed following that whole process. And since it is an outer spacey sci-fi, and I love that kind of thing, whether it's YA or adult or whatever, I definitely felt the need to pick this book up right away. So it is actually very good so far. I'm over halfway through. I am pleasantly surprised with how good it is, because I had heard some things that made it sound like it wouldn't be so great, but and yes, I do agree with all of those things that I've heard, but there are so many good things about this book that actually kind of, are more than the things that I don't like about it. But anyway, I will go over more of that in my wrap-up featuring this book. Then I got 2 more books from Book Depository. One of them is Arabella of Mars, and I have been wanting to read this for a while now. It was practically one of the next audiobooks I planned to listen to, but since I am not listening to very many audiobooks this year at all, because my commute is now only 10 minutes and I don't have a job that I can listen to an audiobook at anymore. And I'm no longer in a band, so I'm not driving half an hour to band practice anymore either. So basically I'm only listening to maybe 20 minutes of an audiobook per day, and that's nothing. So I'm not going to get to the audiobook. But since I hear such good things about this book, I've heard it described as Hornblower in space, which is awesome. So I just finally decided to pick this up. It's pretty cheap on Book Depository, and so I definitely look forward to reading it. And the last book I got from Book Depository is The 100th Queen by Emily R. King, and I have been wanting to read this for forever, and when I saw it for just $6 on Book Depository, I was super excited and just had to get it. But anyway, I have heard nothing but good things about this book, even though I really have no idea what it's about. So definitely, if you've read it, let me know what you thought. Now on to the books that I got at Powell's. So firstly, I got the 4th book in the Rainwild Chronicles, that's what it's called, by Robin Hobb. This is Blood of Dragons, and I have the first 3, and my library doesn't have this series at all, and I've been wanting to. This is one of the series that I plan to read in 2018, and so I just decided, like, well, I have store credit at Powell's, I may as well get this book first thing. So this was the first book that I ran and grabbed. So I've probably read this series by the time this video goes up, but yeah, I definitely look forward to reading this whole series. Next, I got The Price of Valor by Django Wexler, and I have the first 2 books in this series. This is also one of the series that I plan to read in 2018. I don't know if I'm going to finish it because the last 2 books that are out, I mean, it's a 5-book series and they're pretty long, and the last 2 books that are out are still in hardcover only, so, or at least that I know of. I haven't been able to find them in paperback. One of them is super new, so it's not in paperback, but anyway, I definitely look forward to reading this series, and I'm definitely glad that now I have 3 of them. I also got Firebird by Mercedes Lackey, and this is one of those Mercedes Lackey books that's pretty obscure. You don't really find it in a whole lot of bookstores usually, or anything, but At Powell's, sometimes at the main Powell's location, they will usually have some pretty obscure Mercedes Lackey books that are not just the same ones you see everywhere. So I was definitely really stoked to find this. It was only $3.50, so that was really, really awesome too. Next, I got Blood of Flowers by Anita Amirazvani. I read her other book last year, Equal of the Sun, and I loved it. This is a Persian historical fiction, and I actually, this was the first book of hers that I originally heard about that made me pick up the other one, so I'm definitely really, really excited to read this. The last book that I picked up at Powell's is The Greatest Night by Elizabeth Chadwick. I've been meaning to read Elizabeth Chadwick for a good while now. She comes highly recommended, and I definitely am looking forward to reading this. These are the books that I got this month, so let me know if you've read any of these, what your thoughts are, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again with a new video very soon. Bye!